Okay. So, my journey to God, part 3. As I was saying, just got on the expressway, should have had a bad accident, didn't have a bad accident, was saved by the grace of God, literally, that the cars were coming up the expressway in a single file line behind a salt truck, okay? How could God make it any more perfect? He made it more perfect by allowing me to get upset and feel worthless. So I'm like, God, why? Why did you save me, God? Why did you save me? I don't have no purpose. I don't deserve to exist. If I deserve to exist, if you saved me, why did you save me for? What is my purpose? And I was crying. I was upset, and I was a mess, and I'm shaking and driving, and you hear God say, support. And you like, support? Support what? Support who? Support what? Prentice? Support Prentice? Me and Prentice were still together. Me and Prentice were still together at the time. And God was like, no, support Ben. I said, support Ben? It's like, yes. Support Ben. Okay, I can do that. That felt easy. Because I know I'm a really great support structure. So that felt really easy. That was easy. The hardest part was what came next. When God told me that Michelle would be the second follower of Ben, and that I was going to have a thing for Michelle. Whew, I'm naked right now. And that I would not have kids. I've always dreamed of having kids. 3 kids. Twins, 2 girls, Destiny and Dynasty, and my son, Desire. And God told me that I wouldn't have kids. God told me that my destiny was to have a dynasty and bring forth the new Zion. And that was a lot to swallow. But I believed God when he told me I would support Ben. How could I not believe him when he told me everything else? But fear, you know, ego, self comes in, and you want to be afraid. And God has shown me how worthless it is to be afraid. How worth less. Because it is worth so much less to be afraid. And I know that. And I still display fear. Which is why God is making me do this video series. Which is fair justification. Fair justification. I have to go back to the reality I've created and all sorts of things today. I get my 3 videos today, and I get to do 3 videos tomorrow, and I have to keep doing 3 videos until I get the story told. Which is my penance for being afraid. So don't be fearful. Always just trust in God, because God is always walking with you, no matter if you know it or not. You are a part of God. It's crazy. So that was intense, and I went ahead and went to the house, and I think I called Ben and let him know what was going on. Shortly after that, me and Ben started dating. I broke up with Prentice. Prentice, I love you as God would have me love everybody, but you know you still my boy. Like, you know, we still talk, and we good today, but you know, stuff happens. So I was with Ben, and I was happy with Ben. Being with Ben was what I wanted to do. It was weird because I saw him as a man of God. Oh, because we were Noahides. We were Jewish Noahides. It's like being a follower of Judaism without having to be a Jew and following the intense literature of God. You feel me? That's some intense literature to have to uphold. So, as a Gentile, you would only uphold the 7 laws of the Noahide code, which is don't steal, don't kill, don't eat pork, I used to know these by heart. I made a rap song for these. I know I was dope. Like, I had a whole Noahide rap code. God gonna give it back to me, and I'll do it for y'all on the video camera. God, give it back to me. But it was dope though. It was based off Jay-Z. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Y'all gonna let me do that on video. God gonna let me do that on video. And I hope y'all still listen. Either way, so the story. I'm with Ben. We're happy. I have a bad dream about my mom seeing her guy you know, do some things I guess I would consider devilish in response to her, and me calling her in a huff and in a cry and telling her to come home. And then she came back to Flint with me, threw her job away and all of that great money just to come home with me. And believe you me, I struggled with my worthiness in that moment, but I obviously was worthy because it happened. But boy, oh boy, thank you, God. And that's all I can say is thank you, God. Even in me having to do this video series, because I was acting up. And then what happened? Next, what happened? Mom came home. Me, Ben, and Mom moved into Heatherwood. I was so brave. Oh, God, I was so brave in those days. I didn't have a buck to my name, but boy, was I brave. I knew I had student loans coming. I knew I was working at Starbucks at the time. I knew Starbucks could pay our bills if we could just get our way in. And it did. I went to Starbucks, and I was the only one working. My mom wasn't working. Ben wasn't working. And that's my new love, who comes and stands in my video footage in the back corner. Yeah, we'll describe him when his time comes. Anyway, so if God, Lord willing, I'll use visuals. Anyway, so yeah, so we moved out in Heatherwood, and we're making it happen, and God is leading us, and we're following, and not even looking at it like that. Honestly, was not even looking at it like that. Didn't even know that God was all things back then. At least knew it, but didn't know it. So we're making our way, keeping up as we can. Temporary layoffs, good time is a cradle ripper. We didn't rob no cradles, but it was like that. We had food, we had love, we had friends. We didn't have much furniture. I tell you that, we did not have much furniture. But our friends came over, and we had some great times, man. Great times together. That's where I met my best friend, Brittany Jasmine Miller, Brittany Jean Mitchell. God had showed me in a dream that she was coming before she showed up. So when she showed up, I openly accepted her, and I really appreciate God for putting her in my life. Didn't even know it was him then, but it was beautiful. So I mean, I've always believed in God. I just had kind of stopped believing in Jesus, I guess. That's kind of what it was. Crazy. So after the Noah High kick, after the Heatherwood kick, it kicked up high gear. Near the end of things, Ben had got a job, and he was operating in a capacity that just was not fulfilling the goals of the overall project, I'll say, and that made things conflict. And it was all God's will. I didn't know that then, though. So yeah, after Heatherwood, Ben, he was ready to be his own man and do his own thing. Mom had went and stayed with her mom to care for her, and I had went back to my dad's house, and Ben had went back to his mom's house. And Ben had said, that it would be best for us not to be together, and I was devastated. I ate, breathed, and slept Ben daily. Like he was my mantra. He was my mantra, and I can understand what God would have been doing. Like I had really grown to lean on Ben's confidence and love and support much more than I had grown to lean on God. Ben, in a sense, had become God to me, giving me orders and operating and functioning in that. I mean, and then knowing that all is of God, that's one thing, but I wasn't looking at it from that perspective. So yeah, when Ben left, I was supposed to lean on God, but I was very weak. There was a lot of crying going on, a lot of back and forth, a lot of crying, a lot of back and forth, a lot of crying. And girls, we know how that is. But that was video 3. I'll probably go ahead and do 4 just to maybe wrap up 2006. And, video 3 of my journey to God. And since I'm getting some background interference from the cats and from my husband, yeah, I'll do one more and that'll be it. Okay, so that concludes part 3 of my journey to God, and I'll be recording part 4 and uploading these today. Thank you.